Hey everyone, RJ here with CV Tech, and today I'm going to give my review of the ZTE ZMax 1. Now, this phone here I picked up a couple weeks ago, and I have been using it a little bit here and there. And I gotta say, the phone is not too bad for basic usage. Now, if you push this phone heavy, push it hard, try to power use it, you're going to have some issues. Because this phone does run the 1.1 gigahertz Snapdragon 210 processor. It does have 2 gigabytes of RAM, which does help out a little bit, and also 16 gigabytes of ROM. And you can add an SD card, of course, for its pictures, videos, music, whatever, because it does not give you a whole lot of internal storage after the system uses up half the storage. But anyway, for basic usage, though, I would say this phone is acceptable. It does a good job. It's very well made. Like I may mention, the phone feels very solid in the hand. It just feels really good. Now, the camera is an 8 megapixel camera on the rear with a 2 megapixel camera in the front. I did not get a chance to do any kind of footage here with this camera. Took a few pictures indoors, and they came out okay. They were passable. So if you go outside in good light, and you should be able to get some pretty good pictures from the front and rear camera. Good enough for like Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. Now, I'm going to go into the phone here, and this phone does have a 720p display, and honestly, the display does not look bad at all. And like I said, the phone does run very, very, very well under basic usage. However, like I said, if you try to push it any at all, you're going to see some hiccups, you're going to see some slowdowns, which can get a little annoying after a while. Go into the settings here and just kind of browse around here for a moment. Now up here, of course, you do have your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. There is nothing really on this phone that's really exciting. It is a low-end budget device, and it does not have a whole lot of stuff on it. You know, no NFC, nothing of that sorts. Display here, of course, you do have your brightness level, adaptive brightness. You can press the power button twice for the camera. Screensaver, ambient display, font size, just stuff like that. Basically all you see. Now, from the little apps I've downloaded and the games, I've used 10.2 out of 16. However, about 7 of that was already used whenever I got the phone out of the box, so I can't really go by that too much. Now, battery life, not really tested it, but the battery life seems to be pretty decent on this device. Now, this phone does run 7.1.1, so you probably will not see any kind of Oreo, nothing like that on this device. It's still on the October 2017 security patch, and I haven't seen any updates since I had the phone on. Now, I'm going to go ahead right now and kind of go into some gameplay. Just show you how gameplay is, how it does on games. I want to open up Dead Trigger here and play this here for a moment to kind of show you how it does. So hopefully it won't take too long to load up and everything, and I'll be able to play for a moment, because I actually haven't played it yet. This is the first time I've really played this game on this device to see how it does. We're going to turn up the volume for just a little bit there, and we'll move around kind of. Now it seems pretty smooth here while you're just kind of panning around. I don't really see any jitters, nothing like that. It seems to be pretty solid. So we'll go ahead here and we'll play a little bit. A little glitch there, here and there, kind of lagging up there. So it's going to have parts where it is going to, stop and kind of freeze and lag a little bit. But just, if you're wanting a phone for just basic gameplay and don't really care if it has some drop frames here and there, then this phone here you won't mind too awful bad, because it will get the job done. Don't expect to play nothing like PUBG or Fortnite, nothing like that on this device, because it just ain't going to cut it. Now let's go ahead and go back home here, and let's see if I have any more games really. I got Asphalt 8, so I'll go ahead here and load up Asphalt 8, and we'll play this here. So actually playing Asphalt 8, you will see a few little drop frames here and there, but it's definitely nothing that was going to be like a terrible, terrible playing experience. It works, it functions, and it pretty much does whatever you tell it to do. And there's a lot worse. There's a lot worse that I've seen, on games like this right here. It's kind of hard to play while looking at a camera screen and everything, but it does seem to be pretty smooth, as you can see right there. So yeah, I mean, gameplay, it does seem to be pretty smooth. I really don't see much in their way of frame drops or any kind of issue whatsoever. It just seems to play, and it's going to be okay for those, you know, these games for just general playing, stuff like that. But of course, like I said, if you want to play any really graphic intense games, this may not be the phone for you. However, games like you know, Asphalt 8, Dead Trigger might have a few little glitches here and there, but definitely nothing that's going to be a deal breaker whatsoever. The rear speaker, you know, I'm not a big fan, as y'all know, of rear speakers. However, the rear speaker on here does seem to get, you know, decently loud. That's what's so good about ZTE, is they have decently loud speakers on their devices. Even for rear mounted speakers, they do sound pretty decent. Like I said, the build quality is good. The screen being 720 is good, crisp, and clear enough. You're gonna have no problem seeing it. You can see right now where the brightness is at, and if I crank up the brightness here, I mean, it does get very, very bright, and you'll be able to see it out in the sunlight with no problem whatsoever. So basic overall thoughts of the phone, you know, is the fact that it is a good phone. And it is recommended if you are looking for a basic phone to play a few games with, you know, take pictures, use social media. It's going to work okay. It ain't going to be the fastest phone in the world because of that 210 processor. However, you know, it does have, you know, enough RAM, enough ROM to be able to push those things halfway decently. This phone costs $89. Last time I checked at Walmart, this is a straight talk device. And I think for $89, you can get, or maybe a few dollars more, you can get something with a better processor, maybe a better camera. But as far as build quality goes, this thing just feels very solid. It feels very good in the hand, like I made mention. I mean, it's probably one of the best things about this phone here is the way it's built. It just seems like it's built very, very well. The screen only being 720 does seem to, you know, look really good and not much of a problem. I do got Nova Launcher on here, and the phone, like I said, the phone does run very, very smooth under just, you know, basic usage. But of course, you cannot push this phone to its limits because it just can't handle it. So a little scattered here, but that's my little review here of the ZTE ZMax 1. If this was helpful and informative at all, hit that like button. Any questions you may have, leave it below, and subscribe if you haven't. I'd appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.